feel that, Drake?
Hey, web birds. So we're back with another video, episode 6 of Birdshot. We're with American Mallard. Y'all probably seen him off of TikTok a bunch of times. You can introduce yourself.
I'm Biscuit Arcade,
I'm Damon.
and then American Mallard.
American Mallard.
What's going on, guys?
So, first question, like, how long ago did you start duck hunting, and how has it been for you?
So I've been duck hunting for going on 11 years now. And it's going good, man. I'm getting to where I'm more consistent on birds in the past probably 4 or 5 years. But I'll say this, one thing I tell everybody when it comes to duck hunting is nowhere like it was back in, say, 2014 or so. It's not near like it used to be.
Yeah.
What kind of changes you see in like that? Is it pressure? Is it less bird numbers, or just like a combination of everything?
Man, I think it's really a combination of everything. There are birds, which granted our numbers are dropping, but there are birds. You just got to be in the right spot, especially on public land. They're so pressured up here in Arkansas. It's not even funny, man. Just for an example, opening day of duck season, we went to a lake and we pulled up that night. I think we got there at midnight just because we were going to run out. We were going to get there ahead of everybody. We knew the hole we wanted, whatever. We got there and we were 31 trucks behind.
Cool.
Wow.
And we got there the night before. And then the next day after opening day, we went to Felsenthal. It's like a federal refuge down in southeast Arkansas. And I kid you not, there were at least 150, 200 trucks there. It was crazy.
Jesus, man.
I heard up in Arkansas, like, it opens, so like say it opens on the Saturday, there'll be people waiting in line like Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, dude, when we got done hunting that opening day, we found out that this one group of kids, which granted, I say kids because they were mostly 17-year-olds, a few 18-year-olds, so they're not like kids, but they had been sitting there from the Monday before opening day. They had been rotating, taking shifts, staying in the hole.
No way.
Granted, it paid off for them. They shot a bunch of shovelers. I mean, I think they killed like an 8-man of shovelers. It was crazy.
Cool. That's wild.
That's
man.
crazy. I've never heard
gotta-
of that before.
I've got dedication. Like I've slept in the truck. I've waken up at midnight, 1 o'clock. But to sleep in the hole on shift work and not get paid for it, and all you get is, and I'm not hating on a spoonie. I'll be the first one to tell you I love a spoonie, but when you go wait a whole week and a half.
I'm telling you, man. I'll put it like this: like they stayed that long, and they granted they killed all them birds, but that morning it was opening morning. There was a lot of big birds in the area. I knew there was. I've been scouting it for a while, and so we shot. I think we shot a 2-man. It was there was 3 of us, and we shot a 2-man. And but I'll tell you this: I'm not sitting on shift work for no spoonie. I ain't hating on a spoonie. Shift work for a spoonie.
I'm with you for sure.
Yeah, Damon's a
Some
spoonie.
mallards, I'll sit there for some mallards, but not no spoonie.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'll get there at midnight and I'll stay the night, but I'm not staying longer than that. I won't get there before midnight. So I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no, that doesn't. Is that becoming like more popular now? Is people sleeping in the hole and I mean, obviously you're gonna have boat races, but is that like a thing? Like everything on public land slept in, or you just
up here on WMAs, we've got the 4 o'clock rule. You can't
Right.
put in till 2, you can't launch till 4. Now, granted, they'll sleep at the boat ramps for days. I mean, like that's 100% true. But some of the places we hunt are public land, but they're like Corps of Engineer land, so they don't really have as many regulations on them as they do on the WMAs. And kids will sleep in them holes. I mean, it's a very common thing to be scouting a hole and roll up on it at 12, 1 o'clock, and there'll be some kids that have been there for 3 days. So, like, that's a very common thing.
Yeah, I've seen Arkansas get freaking crazy. They got so many people.
Oh, dude, there'll be fist fights. There'll be wrecked boats. I mean, it gets wild. I mean, it gets plumb stupid.
I saw the video where like there's like you can only go in foot and they bring like a horse through
Yeah.
I saw that there. That was pretty.
Yeah, dude, you see stuff like that up here a lot, surprisingly. Like you see random off the wall stuff like that.
Bro. I couldn't imagine riding a horse to the duck hole, man.
It's like it's not
Oh,
motorized.
dude.
Horse isn't motorized.
Also, I mean, dude, just imagine that. Like, you got on your waders, you got your gun strapped on, full throttle, chest deep in water. You got your horse swimming.
Yeah.
Hey, it takes a different type of breed.
It doesn't get more American than that.
Hey, that's that. You know, the Patriots. Like, I mean, they're doing their public service.
Eradicating these ducks. Man, I couldn't imagine. Now, getting into the advice side of things, what are you doing to have a successful hunt on pressure birds? Late season, those birds getting shot at. What you doing?
So, all right. So this is going to be kind of controversial. I get guys on TikTok all the time. They'll talk shit and they'll say I don't know what I'm talking about, whatever. But I've got guys that can vouch for this. That late season is when I thrive on birds, man. Like I do all right during the beginning of season, but you give me late season, gun shy, call shy birds, and I'm gonna get you some birds. So what I do is I drop my decoy spread down. I'll run a dozen and a half. I'll run a jerk string on one side of the spread with a pulsator and a rippler on the other side. So that way I've got ripples crossing right in the middle of the hole. It gives it a really good effect, makes it look real. And I focus a lot calling wise on a lot of chattering, and I throw a Drake whistle in there, and them birds eat it up. But as far as like a hide goes, I step about 15 yards further off of the spread in timber than what I would normally hunt.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now, are y'all just able to use pulsators on public land like this past season with the rule change, or was that always allowed? It was just a wing thing.
So on Arkansas public land the past few years, it's been no simulated movement at all. No rippler, no like you could do a jerk rig, but that was it. That was your only options. So that's why a lot of guys that talk about spinning wings and stuff, I don't really use spinning wings. I'm not a fan of them, but that's just because for years I never could use one. So we just used, motion on the water with a jerk string, and then on private land we'd have a rippler or two. So I just stuck to what works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. No, we try. I mean, we've used a jerk rig a couple times, but it's been, one of them things. Hunting with a dog is almost impossible with a jerk rig. And then
You definitely, when you hunt with a dog, you always want to set the jerk string up on the outside of your decoy spread. So that way you've got all your motion with your ripples coming across your decoys, and set your dog up on this side where 90% of his retrieves, he'll stay away from that jerk string.
Yeah,
That's the one thing.
We've always put it in the middle, but we're definitely have to try that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Put your motion on the outsides of your spreads where the ripples come into your decoy spread, and watch how it turns out for you.
We've done that a couple times with the pulsator,
yeah.
But I mean, dude, it's just so hard to balance school, or I mean, with us, we're still trying to figure out what we want to do in life. So it's hard to go and spend $500 just for a season's worth of motion decoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I get that, man. Like, see, so like my buddy that I primarily hunt with, it's usually me and him. He does HVAC work, and I started doing the pallet work a few years ago. But up until then, man, it was a lot of dragging up and hoping and praying to kill a bird. We didn't really have time to scout. We didn't have time to have all the nice shit. So it was just a lot of hoping and praying and going somewhere that we knew birds might be or where we thought birds should be. And but just recently we finally got to where we were able to make time to really scout and stuff, and that's made a big difference in what we kill.
I mean, hopefully this year we'll have more time to scout. I mean, we found canvasbacks early in the year, north and south where we're hunting, and we just stayed on those up here. It's a safe bet to do. I mean, you bring 4 or 5 people out, you shoot 8, 10 canvasbacks, and maybe get lucky with a couple ringnecks or redheads and call it a day. But that's what we did. I mean, we found them early, like the first week of November, just hunted them the rest of the year.
For new hunters, what's your best advice to give them?
do not overcomplicate it. Killing a duck and getting on ducks is not near as hard as what people make it out to be. Don't overcall them. Don't put too much into your decoy spread. Keep it simple and be where the ducks want to be. That's the simplest, easiest way to put it. Do not overcomplicate it. You don't need all the fancy shit. Get out there, be in a good spot, and it will play out.
Yeah, because I think we've asked that question on the or I've asked that question on with everybody we've talked to, Bo and Jay, and because we down here like, and I'm sure up there too, but there'll be times and we get in the hole and there's some people, pretty close, but and they're ripping that call the whole time we're there, and there's not even a bird in sight. Like
Yeah.
they're just ripping it the whole time, and it's not doing any good.
Oh yeah, dude. Up here, I took my dog on a solo hunt back in the beginning of January this year, and well, I say this past season, and man, it was kind of funny. Every time any group out there started to work a bird, this one group of kids would just start Hail Marying as hard as they could, and all they were doing was getting the birds back up high. Which, granted, that I know in their mind they were pulling birds off people, but they weren't pulling them to them. They were literally just flaring the birds off of everybody else, and that was it.
Yeah.
Is that something that'll start a fist fight up there, or is it only when somebody sleeps in your hole?
Dude, up here, these kids up here are, dude, they're savages. I mean, they'll fight over all kinds of shit. Let's see, 3 or 4 years ago, we were on a public land. Me and a guy, we set up. These kids were Hail Marying our birds all morning. They were sky busting all morning, whatever. Well, we let it go. We didn't say nothing. We just kind of, held our P's and Q's, but they were set up right around a corner from us. I mean, these kids weren't 30 yards. When you walked out to our spread, you were looking at theirs. I mean, it was right there. And so, anyways, finally, my buddy had enough of it. And this group of birds come over. And when they did, these kids went to call them. We never called one time. And these birds went to circle and he threw up and he sky busted at them. And the kid was like, "What the hell was that for?" And he yelled through the trees. He said, "You've been doing it all morning." And so these kids got mad. Well, these kids shot through the trees at us, dude. And my buddy was like, "What the hell?" And like, it was a big ordeal. And so like they pack up and they take off, and we're still hollering at them. And they had a good jump towards the truck. So when we got to the truck, they cut the tires on our truck.
Oh my God.
Like, wow, dude. Like, these kids up here get wild.
Yeah, no.
Like full on slash your tires.
Oh yeah, like full on, like stuck a inch and a half blade gap in the sidewall of the tire on 2 tires.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm over a duck, man.
It's over a duck, and like, granted, it may not be like that everywhere in the state, but the main places we've hunted in the southern part of the state has 150% been like that.
Yeah. They got people like that up here too, though. I mean, I say up here. You go to like North Louisiana, Wham Break, they get crazy over there. They had people sleeping over there, the Wednesday before the season opened, and then Upper Washita. They didn't even have birds in there this year, from what I heard.
Yeah.
I saw one good pile of birds come out of there, and
Right.
they were still fighting. Like, it's like, man, you're going to shoot 3 wood ducks and maybe a gray, and you're swinging over that. I don't even understand it for a mallard.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it's crazy. And like, there was a lot of Louisiana guys that were hunting Felsenthal at the beginning of the year this year. When we went, there was a lot of Louisiana tags there, and there was, I don't know who it was, but I know there was some older guys that got into it with some younger guys. Apparently, they'd been hunting that hole for the past like 15 years on opening morning, and some kids beat them to it. So it's not always kids, man. I mean, like, these kids beat these guys to it. They were like threatening to kill these kids and stuff over this duck hole. And I mean, it was a big ordeal. Game wardens got involved and whatever, but it's not always just kids. There's some, full adults that just act, absolutely chaotic over a duck, and it's completely pointless.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think 3 or 4 videos I saw this year of people arguing or getting nasty in a duck hole is all people, like, not old guys, but your 28 to 35-year-old guys. And then there was one guy in one of the lakes that we hunt, probably like 500 yards from where we had our blind at. He got mad that somebody beat him to the blind
Yeah.
land. And he went and ripped up Mojo's and one of them cyclone things. He like ripped it out of the water and threw it and like beat it all up because somebody beat him to the blind. It's like, dude, it's public land. You're 50 years old. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that video.
So what type of boats are you running?
And what kind of boats are we running?
Yeah.
So my buddy, he's running a 2025 Havoc 17-footer with a 40-horse gator tail on it. I was running, which I made a video about it. You don't have to have the nicest shit. I still truly believe that. I was running a 94 Tracker bass boat that we stripped out, and we put a 35-horse Vanguard beaver tail on the back. And that little bastard would go everywhere. Now, granted, tomorrow I'm going and I'm picking up a 2025 Go Devil with a 40 horse on the back. But I'm only doing that because I'm getting that thing at a steal. I'm getting it for like $200 a month.
that ain't bad.
Hmm.
No,
Yeah.
we're running.
And my old lady's got in a little bit, and so she threw a fit about wanting a bigger boat. That's the only reason I'm getting a new one.
We're all running. Damon's the only one that has his own boat. Well, Matthew has one too, but Dawson got his stolen on a WMA last year, just
That
a little
is
crappy
true.
John boat. And then I got a skiff, but our gator tail's been beat up since opening day of second split last year. So I bummed out off of Damon.
Yeah, because
our other buddies.
we went hunt a hole we didn't get to the hole that we were supposed to get to, so we kind of bailed off a little bit to the right, me, my brother, and my cousin, and we went and we were, I mean, it was a woody hole, so we were like, I didn't want to hunt the hole anyways because they're late season, they know where the holes are at, so they avoid them as much as possible. So we were hunting the trees and
Yeah.
we had a damn good morning. I mean, we killed, I think we had our limit, but we couldn't find two of them. So we were too shy, but them boys I mean, they were shooting all morning, but they didn't come out with nothing because they were just sky busting and stuff like that. But they left before us, and I left it was a little John boat. I didn't even have a motor on it. I was just using it to get past the deep parts, and we were headed back in, and I had marked it on Onyx. And as soon as we got to the mark, I was like, dude, where the hell is my boat? And they were like, I don't like, we have no idea where it went. Well, them freaking boys that already took off, they stole that bitch. So I don't have a boat now. I got
That's
a trailer.
wild, dude. Shit, stuff like that happens, man. It happens a lot. Up here, it's not really necessarily boats as much. And like a lot of people up here, they don't even really steal boats. They'll just sink your boat. If you leave your boat parked, like say you boat up into some trees and park it, and you walk far enough away from it, they'll sink your shit up here. Like it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's the fact that people get so stopped bird. I mean, it's a bird, and the thing is they're a migratory bird. So, acting an idiot like that and stealing people's stuff or sinking their stuff, it makes no sense because it ain't like there's not a million more of them bastards flying right behind that one. They're gonna be here at some point.
Exactly. And I made a video on that because like I see all the because I've seen the fighting videos too, and like these people get all butthurt, like you said, over a duck, and like you said, they threaten to kill people and like all this stuff, and it's on public land. Like I understand if you have this badass hole that you want to hunt and stuff like that, but if somebody gets there before you, I mean, you can't get mad. It's public land. You got to do something about it.
Always have a backup plan.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Have a backup
I've burnt
plan.
myself too many times on that.
Yeah.
Expecting the hole to be open and you get there and there's kids sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
You just got to turn around and go back.
There's a guy that trolls me. There was a guy that trolls me on TikTok, and he got to where he was commenting on almost every video I posted there for like a month. And it all started because I said something about that video of that guy rolling up on that kid talking about, this is my hole, get out of my hole, whatever. And I said, that shit wouldn't fly with me because, like, if I beat you there, I beat you there, and hell's gonna freeze over before you walk in there intimidating me to get out of your hole. Like, it's just not gonna happen. It's public land. And this guy was like, "It's called respect," blah blah blah. And I was like, "So you're saying just because you're an older guy, like you're older than me, just because you're older than me and you've hunted that hole before, if you get there and I'm in it, I should move?" No, that doesn't work like that. And he was like, "It does if you have respect." And I was like, "That has absolutely nothing to do with respect. Having respect is, respecting everybody, whereas you shouldn't walk off in a hole that you got beat to and be threatening someone and make them move. That's not very respectful. And but guys don't see it that way hardly no more, and it's really messed up. And I feel like that's a lot of the reason a lot of people don't get into duck hunting is because they see shit like that and they don't want any part of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, when you look at it, I had one dude comment on one of my videos. I was talking about how older guys don't like helping the younger guys, and he was like, "Well, us older guys didn't have anybody to learn from." And then you're like, "Well, hold on a minute, dude. Y'all have one of the best generation of duck hunters to learn from just by watching. Like they may have not told you anything, but they taught you something somehow, and y'all are forgetting that y'all were us at one point. You know, like I mean, I don't know much. I say don't know much. I know enough to help people out when they're getting into it. And every person that has texted me asking for pointers, if I can help them, I give it to them because that's the only way it's going to make our
Yeah.
experience better. Because when you get guys that don't know what they're doing, you get the guy setting up 30 yards from you, shooting at everything that flies, and you get pissed off either way. So might as well make it enjoyable for both of us. My phone's still alive.
Right.
I don't understand the whole.
But I mean, it's one of the things, man. I try to help out everybody that I can with, like, when they ask for it and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's one of the things that people have got to where they act like duck hunting is a secret. Like it's some big secretive thing, and you can't help somebody out because you don't want them to know this, you don't want to know that. And half the things that they're keeping a secret are common knowledge among duck hunters. Like it's not
That's
it's
very
not a big secret. It's not
Duck
guaranteed.
hunters love the gatekeep.
Gatekeep
Yeah,
unimportant.
they
And
love
the thing is the shit they keep, like, very basic shit.
there was a dude. There was a few people. First there was actually I had a cousin, and he was telling my cousin, because me and my cousin hunted a lot last year, and he was telling him, he was like, we were doing decent. Like, I mean, we weren't doing nothing special, but enough, to fill the freezer a little bit. And so he was like, he said, "Hey, come home with us. We kill way more birds than y'all." And so then my cousin was like, "Well, let me see pictures." He sends him a picture. He sends him 5 pictures. It was the same pile of birds in 5 different pictures at 5 different angles. So he was like, "Bro, like, okay, like, damn, I'm gonna give you your props, but I know what you're doing right here." And then he was like, "Yeah." And so I texted him. I said, "Dude, how you gonna send the same picture? Like, that doesn't make any sense." And so then, like, they'll go on and then they'll tell me, and they're like, "Yeah, I have a spot and I'm hot. Like, nobody knows about it." And I tell him, I'm like, "You think nobody knows about it, but I promise you 90% somebody probably knows about it." He was like, "No, bro, like, it's a honey hole, like nobody knows about it." Dude, these dudes, it was the worst spot ever. It was terrible.
Oh, dude. So, like, around here, like, I don't even know how to explain it really. So, you get a lot of, like, haters around here, right? And back during duck season, so I'm not gonna sit here. I've never once claimed to be a professional duck hunter, but I kill ducks. Like, I kill ducks. I know I kill ducks. It is what it is. Well, I've got this dude that's like this daddy's money, rich, spoiled dude that's been babied his whole life, and his family's giving him pretty much everything he's fucking got. And and granted, I got to give it to him. The dude kills birds. But then again, if I had my dad funding me hunts my entire time in high school, I'd know where the birds were all the time too. And he put together a band of like 16 and 17-year-old kids. And these dudes were like hating to the extreme on everything I posted. Don't post the same birds. Quit rearranging your birds. That's the same birds. And the thing was, I was like, look, dude, it's not. And these guys were like, well, there's 8 birds in that picture. There's 12 birds in that picture, blah, blah. And I was like, has it ever occurred to y'all that, like, I hunt with one guy 90% of the time? It's either me and my brother in law or me and my best friend. So we can only kill 12 birds. And when it comes to mallards, we can only kill 8 of them. So, like, has it ever occurred to you that that might be why? Like, if there's only 2 of us hunting, we can only kill a 2-man? And, like, this dude, like, I mean, dude, these kids would not give it a rest. Like, even during duck season, they threw a fit, or not duck season, turkey season. They threw a fit about me killing a turkey. Oh, blind dog finds a bone every now and then, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, man, whatever you guys say. Like, if you're hating, just say you're hating. I mean, and all that boils down to is it's guys like that have been spoiled their whole lives, and they see somebody getting some clout for something, or they see somebody doing good with something, and they can't stand it, and they just like eat it up, and they start talking shit and causing problems, and it's ridiculous, man. And the bad thing is you get that a lot in duck hunting, sadly.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I mean, I know that Dawson knows people, and I know that Damon knows people, and I know that I know people that if we post a bird, it's, oh, that's a trash duck, or y'all are hunting my spot. Had one dude, so Dawson had videoed something, and the guy texted me because I posted it on Wetbirds on the TikTok, and it was a video of birds landing in a patch of lily pads. Like, who cares who filmed it, you know? And I posted it, and he texted me, and I was like, why don't you text the guy that hunted with you a couple times and not the guy that just got the video sent to him? I didn't ask, hey, let me get your videos from one of my buddies. I was just like, I need a video of a duck, and I've posted the same few that I have, you know, that aren't going to out duck holes. You know, I'm gonna do my best to keep them less pressure, but
keep in mind I was on that hunt. It wasn't just it wasn't just like, oh, well, let me get this video from that hunt that you hunted. No, I was right next to him. He did take the video, but I was right next to him. So I had the video. He said, look, I'm gonna send it to all y'all. So he sent it to us, whatever. And he never texted me. He never texted me.
He texted me. I was like, dude, this is the second time you text me about something Dawson sent to me. I was like, I don't know where he got the video. Why are you coming at me?
Speaking of, the first time he texted you was a video that I took. And he happened to be with me. And I'm like, dude.
Oh, dude.
So
this same daddy's money rich kid, right? So I got into it with this dude like in high school, and like I let it slide, Well, then now he's got to where he like talks shit about hunting and picks at hunting. Well, he got these kids all talking about how I was hell on gray ducks because we went and waxed ass on some gaddies this year. I mean, we were killing 2 and 3 man limits in like 7 minutes from shooting light. We were limited out packing up, like it was crazy. And I had to laugh because all he's posting is his mallard pictures and all that kind of stuff. But the funniest part of that is I've got the dude on Snapchat, and the opening day of duck season, all he shot was shovelers and a few gaddies. And I was like, oh, so I'm a gray duck killer in the middle of the season, but when you were killing gray ducks and shovelers, by God, we were okay with that.
You added this dude on Snapchat?
Yeah, dude. He's a dude from my hometown, hometown area. And so he just did. It's weird, man. Like, I don't understand hating on other people's success. I mean, I guess you can look at it however you want to. I just don't think it's right to try to hate on other people's success just because you're mad that it's not your success. And I mean, I guess his pride's a little hurt because he was the duck killer of the area. And then, I really started getting on some birds in the past few years. And so it's been a problem ever since I started getting on birds. Like, oh, you got to be the only guy in Southwest Arkansas that kills a bird. Okay, that makes sense. And if he can, and I'll say this too, I'll say this live on this podcast right now. If he keeps on, I will steal his spot next year and I will kill his birds.
You just follow him and beat him to the hole.
Yeah, I'll drop an air tag in his fucking boat gas tank. I'll find his holes.
Well, now that you brought that up, not the dropping the air tag, but so about that dude from your hometown. He we have some, and I'm not gonna say any names. I'm not gonna say it. I'm just gonna talk. We started making hats.
Oh,
2020,
22 and
20, yeah, 22. We started making hats in 22. We went to Opelousas Catholic, which is not far in Opelousas. I was in the same class, and like I said, I'm not. They know who they are, but I'm just gonna say it. I was in the same class as this dude. Played baseball my whole life with him. Me and Biscuit, and then I got out of for a little bit. Then Damon. So we've like it's been a while. Like I said, 3 years now, and this dude graduated high school, and as soon as we started, like I guess you could say progressing, as in getting more views, followers, stuff like that, he starts making the. And he's one of them dudes, like you said, daddy's money, like has hunts private land, doesn't know how to blow a duck call, stuff like that. But he's making hats. The hats are identical to our hats. Like it. Which do I have it? No, I don't even have it on right now.
You have clout chasers, man. I swear to God, bro. If
You want
you
to know?
have anything that
You want to know a secret
do
about
what?
his hat? He's the same guy. We were at a
What?
football game, my girlfriend and I. The same guy that Dawson was just talking about. Me and my girlfriend were at a football game watching my little sister cheer. Him and his partners walked past me. I got up, made eye contact with him, and shake his hand. Walked past me. He texted me in the middle of the season and said, "Hey man, give me some spots on this lake." So I texted him back. I was like, "Yeah, brother, you're gonna leave this canal, go about 500 yards down, and set up on the bank." The birds were not sitting on the bank. But anyway,
That's like that dude from like he's from Church Point. Me and him were cool at one point, but we ended up getting into it about I don't know. I've gotten into a few people.
was that the
Yeah.
video I had to call you?
Yes.
Okay.
So he buys multiple hats from our website, multiple hats. Literally a week before actually. Then it comes down to it. Duck season comes around, and like I said, I was hunting by myself with my brother and my cousin. He texted me and he said, uh, "Hey man, let's go hunting." I said, "Okay, like that's fine. Like, where are we going? You know?" He said, "You pick the spot. You bring me." I said, "Dude, what the hell?" I said, "How are you gonna text me, let's go hunting?" And then I'm like, "Okay, well, I guess like you bring it, like if you got a spot, whatever, I'll come home with you. We can shoot whatever." No, you bring me to one of your spots. I said, absolutely not. We can cancel this trip already, and we haven't even been planning
Oh,
in seconds.
the the dude that like is like that created the little band of warriors that would not leave me alone, that were talking shit. Like these dudes are texting me at like 4 o'clock in the morning, like for 2 weeks straight. Like these dudes would not shut the hell up. But that same guy, this is another funny part. He'll never admit it, but I seen it. He was texting a guy that I hunt with, asking him where we were killing our big ducks at early season, because he wasn't getting on any in Arkansas, and he ended up going out of state to get on some birds. Then he come back and he killed some in Arkansas, but initially he wasn't getting on any, and he was messaging a guy I hunt with, asking where we were getting birds at, and then had the audacity to go talk shit about us not killing birds. I was like, dude, you were asking us to put you on birds. Like, exit left.
Well, that's like whenever Biscuit texted me the other day, like, I just want to know what goes through people's heads. Like, seriously, I really do. Because they're really like they don't make sense, dude. They're I'm not even gonna say the word because it may offend some people, but they're not they're not there.
Hey, hey, I'll put it like this, dude. I'm a very controversial person. I'll say the thing that most people won't say, and I'll say it. There's people that are slow as hell out here, dude. And like, if you
Dude,
just listen
they're retarded.
dude, Yeah, dude, you're just like you listen to them, you see what they do and stuff. And you're like, all right, so are you a dick or are you retarded? Like be so for real. Which one are you? You know?
Oh, dude, there was one we went to hunt. This was opening day, bro. Listen to this story. We went hunt.
You didn't hunt opening day.
No, this wasn't last year. This was the year before. It was in Lacassine, and I could say it like we were hunting Lacassine, and that's before they turned it. That was the day, or not the day,
Oh,
but
that was walk-in?
whenever they turned it into a veteran and
Yeah, that's
yeah,
walk-in.
yeah, it was walk-in. Well, we get there early as hell. My brother had just finished down in a six of Fireball before we got to the hole, Clarkson. Well, we get to the hole, and
Yeah.
my other buddy, he was like, before we could actually head out there, like, because I forgot what time it was that you could get out there. So we were waiting at the gate, and there was already people there. He was like, I'm gonna haul before like they could even go like illegally. And we were like, do what you want, but I'm not paying the ticket. He was like, okay. Well, then he starts taking off. Well, then the dude starts screaming at him, what are you doing? Like you can't be doing that. So he's going back and forth at him about like that. That's so dumb, bro. Like y'all could get your hole if y'all want to, or like once the time comes, but don't be doing that. Well, then they talk it out, and this dude's like 40, 50 years old. Well, then next thing you know, they end up making amends, and he says, you can go if you want to. I'm not gonna tell the game warden. It's like, bro, you were just screaming at me because you didn't want me to go out there, and it's like now you're just gonna, oh yeah, no, we're friends now. Now you can go.
He just wanted somebody to talk to.
Like, doesn't make sense.
So so there's some dudes, we call them the Desert Warriors. All right. They're up here in Desert, Arkansas. It's a little lake that they have up there that you can hunt. And they have the 4 a.m. takeoff rule and all that. But you can put your boat in at 2 a.m. in the staging area. Just don't leave it at 4 o'clock, shoot across the lake, whatever. It's literally just a little lake. Well, we went to hunt it back year before last. We get set up. We're in line, and these kids are there. Well, it's like, 3:45. No, it's probably 3:15. We get there, and these kids are there, and we walked up there and said, hey, man, are y'all going to put y'all's boat in so we can put ours in? And, at shooting light, we'll run across, whatever. And he goes, yeah, where are y'all hunting at? And I said, well, this isn't but like a 60-acre lake, so there's not really a whole lot of area to hunt. We're all going to be in the same area pretty much. And there was this little island there, and he said, well, we're hunting the point. And we said, okay. And he said, where are y'all hunting? And my buddy was like, well, we're hunting the point, so I guess you better beat us there. Well, then he's like, well, I guess you could hunt with us if you wanted to. And my buddy was like, no, we don't really want to, but if y'all just put y'all's boat in, we'll put ours in. Whoever runs to the point first wins. Well, these dudes like, okay. They had 2 trucks with 2 boats. The one backs up, puts his boat in, pulls out. The second one backs up, parks on the ramp, and turns his truck off. And I got out and I was like, the hell, dude? He's like, oh, it's not time to go yet. At 4 o'clock on the dot, he starts putting his boat in. His buddy runs across and sets up on the point while he's unloading his boat. And I was like, oh, these guys. Well, it ended up being funny because we couldn't really say much to them because, like I said, these were 16, 17-year-old kids. We're grown-ass men. We can't say nothing to these kids. Well, it ended up playing out in our favor. About 8:30 or so, there really wasn't many birds flying, and you could hear these dudes down here just hammering down on the point of this little island. We set up on the opposite end of this little island in this cove area, and we ended up shooting a 2-man and a green wing, like just wore their ass out. And these dudes up on the other end, they shot maybe one time. And so when we got back to the ramp, they was like, y'all kill a few? And we was like, yeah, if y'all wouldn't have cut us off, we probably wouldn't have. So appreciate you for that, man. And them kids were pissed, dude.
That's awesome. I love hearing stories like that.
Yeah, the story whenever someone's.
I love that instant karma.
Oh,
Right,
that's
instant karma for sure.
Well, brother, we're going to let you go. We're going to hop on another one eventually. I mean, we've got a few more weeks before teal season down here, so and then
Yeah, hop on again. You need to hop on again.
and we'll figure out a early
Oh,
season.
yeah.
Paul Damon said he'll put you on the teal birds.
Yeah, come down.
Hey, seriously, man. I'll hop on another one with y'all. Just give me a shout. And yeah, man. Go ahead and give them my information too, dude. And I'll have all y'all on Snapchat. And I'll try to get down there, and me and my buddy will try to run down there and get on some teal with y'all. We'll bring y'all up here and get y'all on some greenheads.
Down with it, man.
Make sure y'all get in shape.
Appreciate
Y'all gotta
it.
get in shape.
Y'all be easy, boys.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right, well, that is episode number 6. Y'all stay tuned for the next one.
We're gonna turn y'all off before we turn around and y'all can see our swamp on the back of us because it is steaming hot in this sauna.
I don't know if we'll have one next
That'll be
week
on
or
our unreleased.
unreleased footage.
We will be getting back on American Mallard because he's freaking awesome. Y'all need to go watch his videos.